What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hopefully the weather is treating you well where you are so far. Here we've had showers and thunderstorms so far. Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Climate Update for Saturday, June 24th, 2023. We do have three news stories to report on before we get to the United States national weather. And the first climate story is Beijing. It's really hot right now. Beijing is sizzling under one of their worst heat waves, and believe it or not, the Nanjiao Observatory in southern Beijing on Saturday, remember, they're well ahead of us. It's Saturday, it's been Saturday there already, for the first time recorded temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius. That's 104 degrees Fahrenheit for a third consecutive day, according to China Meteorological Administration. So that is not good at all. Then we come over to Brazil, where there is ongoing flooding. Some places in Brazil have seen over 10 to 12 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. That is a ton of rain, and it is causing flooding there. That is a serious concern. Then we come here to the United States. California ski resorts. Guess what? Some of them are still open. Yes, it is now summertime here in the United States, but some of the ski resorts in the United States are still open, as reported by Powder.com. And check this out. Mammoth Mountain, which is in California, yeah, it's still open, and they are reporting that they still have a whopping 70-inch snow base. Here we are, June 24th of 2023, and they still have 70 inches of snow. That's crazy for this time of year. But remember, they had all of those extreme storms back during the winter on the West Coast, which led to a monstrous snowpack in the mountains, which leads to, hey, the ski resorts, some of them are still open, and there are still people skiing. I mean, check out this video that they had here. They did this video, and you can see here. Look behind them. Yeah, that's legitimate. It's June, and they still have that much snow on the ground. All right, taking a look at the national hazards for today. The heat continues in the southern U.S. It is dangerously hot. Temperatures over 100. Heat index over 110. At times, in some places, getting as high as 120. And this has spread to more states. Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. You're now included. Texas, it's ongoing. And there's also red flag warnings on top of this as well. So this is dangerously concerning. If you have asthma or any type of respiratory difficulty, limit your time outdoors in these areas. Check on your elderlies. Do whatever you can to make sure your loved ones are safe. Taking a look at the national satellite picture, we can see our freight train of systems continues at a very slow pace. We have this atmospheric traffic jam. Blocking still continues over parts of Northeast, over Greenland blocking, it's called. It continues. You can see here in the Northeast U.S., we have one area of low pressure, upper level system that's continuing to slowly spin. It's been what's causing the showers and thunderstorms. We've had them here today. Actually had a flash flood warning here just a little while ago. I think they're a little generous on the size though, because we actually didn't have much rain, and I'm looking at my Davis. I've only had 0.05 of an inch so far today, not even 1/10 of an inch of rain. Did get about 1.3 inches of rain here last night, and this theme is going to continue. There will be possibly some flash flooding in New England today. Then behind us, we do have another system that's going to move in, and that could set up for a severe weather outbreak in the mid-Atlantic on Monday, plus another flash flood threat. And that's not the only severe weather outbreak. I'm going to show you the rest of what's going on. Here's satellite. You can see we do have rain in the Northeast today. Not the nicest Saturday if you're maybe heading up to New England for vacation. Just not a nice day, and unfortunately, it's going to continue for some time. Showers and thunderstorms across Florida today. We do have that other low that is spinning across the Dakotas. Look at this. Very heavy rainfall across North Dakota. California, pretty much quiet today. Seattle, Washington, at the moment, relatively quiet. A couple isolated showers today, but nothing terribly concerning. All right, going to move myself to the right here, because I want you to see this. These were storm reports from yesterday. There were 333 of them. And the map is showing 26 were tornadoes, 156 wind reports, and 151 hail reports. It was a very active day yesterday. Just one wind report so far today in Iowa. I suspect that number is going to go up a little bit, not a whole lot. There is a slight risk of severe weather for Iowa today. I think at some point they probably will do a severe thunderstorm watch there. And as we take a look at day 2, tomorrow has been upgraded to an enhanced risk across the Ohio Valley and portions of the South. There is potential for an MCS that could form on the southern side of this area of low pressure, and that could sink south into Alabama and Mississippi, maybe even Louisiana. Taking a look at day 3, we do have this large marginal risk, and there is a slight risk within that in the Carolinas. That slight risk could get increased all the way up into Pennsylvania, and there's also a marginal risk in portions of the Plains and Rockies as well for Monday. Taking a look at the Weather Prediction Center, as you can see, day 1, slight risk of excessive rainfall in portions of the Midwest, marginal risk in the Northeast. Again, marginal risk in the Northeast tomorrow, marginal risk in the Ohio Valley, down through Tennessee and Mississippi. That could get upgraded to a slight risk across some of those areas. And then Monday, a large slight risk for excessive rainfall from North Carolina all the way up into the Philadelphia metro area, including D.C. Monday is going to be a relatively interesting day across that area. Taking a look at the National Hurricane Center, Brett is going to be out of the picture within the next few hours. Probably by midnight tonight, it probably will not exist anymore. Cindy continues to exist, but here's the deal with Cindy. It's going to continue northwest as a tropical storm. Whether or not it's still actually a cyclone by the time it gets to Bermuda, that remains to be seen. It probably will pass just west of Bermuda. It'll probably just be a remnant low at that point. It's not any threat to land right now. It may increase wave activity for the Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico. Alright, let's take a look at the satellite picture here, and you can see, again, not much left with Cindy, not much going on with Brett. Both of them, not a big deal. Taking a look at the models here, I did want to show you the FV3, and you can see that rain will continue today in the Northeast. More showers and thunderstorms will form across Pennsylvania. Couple showers and thunderstorms in Florida. Some stuff and some activity will pop up over Louisiana and New Orleans later on. Then the Midwest. Look at this. You have to watch. There's going to be multiple threats of thunderstorms. This one threat from this model is turning the system or the activity over Iowa into an MCS. Look what happens over Kentucky and Tennessee. That will be very interesting to see if that actually occurs. And then watch what happens as we head into tomorrow. You can see a large area with clusters of showers and thunderstorms do get going. Could be either a QLCS or maybe even an MCS. And you can see that does continue down into Louisiana and southern Mississippi tomorrow evening into Monday morning. Then all eyes will turn into Monday, where we can see numerous showers and thunderstorms forming from Georgia all the way up into the Northeast. And within this, I think there will be isolated severe weather, and I definitely think there is going to be a flood threat. I want to show you another model, and that model that I want to show you is the RGM model. And check this out on the RGM model. Here's today. You can see showers, thunderstorms in the Northeast. You can see the heavy rainfall continues, and this is actually the wrong run. I want to show you the 12Z run. You can see here on the 12Z run, pay attention to what happens on Monday in the Northeast. You can see Monday morning, not so bad, just some isolated showers, but then you get this explosion that happens from Georgia all the way up and down the East Coast. Again, I'm really concerned about Monday. You can see these purple areas. That's really strong winds. It's even showing some bowing segments. Wouldn't surprise me if that marginal risk gets upgraded to a large slight risk, and maybe even somewhere within here could go enhanced risk. Wind threat is there. Hail threat is there. Isolated tornado threat, yes, that's there. And definitely a flash flooding threat. You could see training segments with 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. So that is relatively concerning. The rest of the country beyond this point is not doing too bad. We will see another system that does go get going on Tuesday, and showers and thunderstorms are going to continue on Tuesday as well in the Northeast. Not as severe as Monday. Monday's a severe threat. Could be an isolated severe storm on Tuesday, and maybe even Wednesday. It's going to take several days for this system to clear, and let's take a look at the European temperatures for the next several days. And you can see here, as we head into the rest of today, very hot in the south. Not as hot in the Northeast. The Northeast continues to be below average for a long period of time. Yes, you may get some 80s up in Maine that mixes in, but look as I advance the European here. Day after day after day. Dallas, extremely hot for you. Florida, while it will be hot, not terrible. Nothing compared to what's going on out here in the central states. The Pacific Northwest, you will have a few areas that do get hot. But again, the majority of the heat is going to be focused to the south. The Northeast, places like Boston, Portland, Maine, Burlington, Vermont, you're actually looking at below average temperatures, even as we head into 4th of July weekend. Finally, by next weekend, the heat doesn't go away in the south. It just expands. It gets bigger. Look at this. But there's nothing to really pull this far up to the north, at least not until the end of next weekend. Then we start watching in the Northeast, at least according to the European, because I'll show you here when we go to the precipitation map. You can see finally somewhat of a southwest flow does get going and pulls some of that hot air up into the Northeast. We'll see if that happens because that's over 200 hours out. Drought situation for today, we're not terribly concerned about that. We just had the update on Thursday, so we'll skip over that for today. I do want to show you this. Look at the expected precipitation over the next 1 through 7 days in the Northeast. You can see there is definitely going to be a flash flood threat. There's even isolated 5+ inches of rainfall in portions of New Hampshire. The Midwest is still wet from that current area of low pressure, and you can see where that MCS or QLCS potentially gets going in the south. There will be 1 to 2 inches of rainfall possible with that. Relatively dry on the west coast. General, typical summertime showers and thunderstorms for Florida, where you will see isolated cases of downpours, where 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches of rainfall could happen. Let's take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Below average for the central states through to the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Well above average in the south, above average in the Northwest, and a slight above average area in Maine. Though, as we come to the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, near normal in Pennsylvania and places like the Mid-Atlantic. Below average in the central plains, well above average in the south, all the way back through the west coast, the upper Midwest, and upper Northeast. Again, the wild card is, will that heat get pumped up into the Northeast? It could, and if that happens, this near normal would actually become slightly above normal. Precipitation, above from the plains through to the Northeast, above average. Near normal in Florida, below average in southern Texas, below average in the Four Corners, and below average in the Pacific Northwest. Places like Albuquerque, New Mexico, Phoenix, Arizona, you're looking at below average precipitation over the 8 to 14 day period as well. Even places like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, below average precipitation. But for a large chunk of the east, we're looking at above average precipitation because of these daily shower and thunderstorm threats. Even once we get past Wednesday, yes, you're going to see a few dry days in the Northeast. There's signs that there could be yet another round of shower and thunderstorm activity that moves in. Because remember, if you're talking about warm, moist air potentially moving in the 8 to 14 day time frame, you also are going to have the shower and thunderstorm activity as well. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's climate update. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. We will have another climate update again tomorrow on Sunday. Until I see you again next time, enjoy the weather wherever you're at. If it's a rainy day, sorry, try and make the best of it. And I will see you all again next time. Have a great afternoon, everyone.